back to the Fierce Spirit Podcast. I'm the host who needs no introduction. And today we joined by Mr. Cribbs. Here, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Coach Cribbs, forensic science, softball. That's about all I do.
That's what I do. And we're gonna get interviewed. We're gonna interview you here. We're gonna ask you a couple questions. So we should roll into it. How long have you been teaching for?
This will be year 9, which is shocking. I never wanted to do this.
You never wanted to do this?
Never.
You never want to coach softball either?
No, I just don't like kids. I'm just kidding. No, honestly, did forensics for 12 years. Ended up doing contract work, was gone a lot, and came back and got a regular job at a crime lab. Very boring compared to my last one. So I decided to take a new path. My brother teaches, thought it might be good. I like the idea of summers off. So it worked out.
So when you mean like forensics, do you mean like going out to like crime scenes and kind of just like looking at them and observing?
Yeah, so I've had a few different jobs. My first one out of college was doing autopsies. They called it a diener for the older folks. So first year, did 400 autopsies, saw about 4,000 dead bodies.
Jeez.
So seen a few things, paid about $26,000 a year. So yeah, I didn't make any money, but it got me into the field of forensics. Mm-hmm. So went from there, started doing crime scene work in Montgomery, Alabama, did crime scene work in Grand Prairie, and then I ended up working there to contract work. I went overseas to Afghanistan, contracting with the DOD. So
really, so what was working overseas like?
Yeah. Think of it like, so for me, military people are phenomenal. The stuff they get to do, the sacrifices they make. So like, especially on Veterans Day today, like it's a big deal. I was contract, so I could leave if I wanted to.
Okay.
They can't do that. So do not associate anything with the same. But for me, I didn't have to leave the base. Our lab was on base. The EOD guys that we worked with would bring back IEDs and we process them for fingerprints. So that was my job. It's like being in a factory town, really. Small town. You live and work and do everything in the same place. Nobody leaves. That's pretty much what it felt like every day. I got up, I worked 13 hours a day, 6 months straight, and then I get to go home for R&R and then come back and do it again. So, but yeah, I just had a routine. That was it, man. Eat all the meals you can eat, the DFAC and everything. And,
Was the food good?
Hey, there were some places. Like they had the British DFAC that was really good, and then they had like an Asian one. And
British food? British was weird.
Hey, fish and chips. It was nice. And then stir fry, and then like every Thursday it was surf and turf. So you could just, it's not a great steak, but at that point, steak and lobster tasted pretty good.
Yeah.
But, so, it was a lot of fun.
I kind of want to back this up though. Where were you raised?
So I grew up in Bedford, not far from here, right? I went to LD Bell High School. So it was a small town. Bedford's one of them, I guess, more poorer districts now. HEB is compared to Keller.
That's where my dad grew up.
Did you really?
He went to Trinity.
You went to Trinity? Okay. Yeah, so they'll finally beat Trinity again after what, like 20 something years?
Yeah,
It was the 97, 98. Oh, I'm sorry, 97. My bad. I feel like Ricky Bobby. I don't know. So, 97, 98 was last time Bell beat Trinity. That's my sister graduated that year. So it's just kind of crazy they beat them this year. Yeah.
So did you ever see yourself as going into high school, or going to like middle school or high school, going to the forensic field?
So originally I wanted to be in the FBI. I wanted to be a government agent or whatever. My dad had a couple friends that were CIA, DEA agents and stuff like that. So talked to them about it when I got done, or towards the end of my high school time. They said just get in the government and then you can work your way around to the DEA or FBI. At that time, Border Patrol was a big thing, and I didn't feel like I wanted to go to the border and hang out. So I decided to go a different route and go more forensics related versus agent. Cool thing is I did get to work with all of them. I worked with DEA, FBI, Homeland Security, so I've done cases with all of them during my contract time. So I kind of got it, what I thought I was going to do, and then not exactly the same way. So.
Do you feel like you ended up in the place you were supposed to be?
Yeah. For me, I mean, I just work. Like I think the thing when you talk about gifts, I have the ability just to do work, and wherever it takes me is where I go. I always try to leave a door open for something I can do. So I went ahead and I got a master's degree while I was teaching because in case I want to be an athletic director or I want to go teach at a higher level or do something different. So I try to leave myself some kind of option. Certified strength coach, I've got a bunch of little avenues on the side that I can always go into if something falls apart. So.
You always have a backup plan.
Yeah, try to keep something in the irons in the fire. I guess is it. Plus, I like that stuff. Things that I was interested in, I expanded into them a little bit. And that helps a lot, just having that. Because if you hate your job, but you have something you like doing afterward, that's good too.
What's like the worst thing you've ever had to like experience or do while you were working in the forensics field?
So most of it's not gore related for me. No, at the time I was doing autopsies and stuff, I didn't have kids, but when I did crime scenes and stuff, I did. So I would say like the SIDS deaths, are difficult because you go in there and you have to investigate them like it's a homicide or like it's something happened. And so you have a family grieving, they just lost their child, they woke up and they were, not living anymore. They're going through all this stress, but you're taking photos and you're documenting, you're collecting everything. So they're all, why are you doing this? They're upset. Some are upset with you because they're trying to deal with their emotional pain, but you also have to do your job to let them know, like, this is just a show that you didn't do anything wrong because other people have in the past. So that's kind of the most difficult part when you see those people because they're just distraught and you still have to execute your job. So you really got to separate yourself out on those. I've seen families where the parents are chewing out the mom because they were Vietnamese or whatever, and the mom had shared the bed with the kid, and the kid died during the night. So the parents were mad at her, and they were literally chewing her out in Vietnamese. So I don't know exactly what they were saying, but she was distraught. They were chewing her out. They were upset because we were there investigating, like if something happened, and there wasn't anything they could have done.
So how does a kid just like die during the night? How does that happen?
SID is a sudden infant death syndrome. I don't know if they really figured out the mechanism of it. They talk about different sleeping positions that they get into. Like don't lay on your back or lay on your stomach, those things like that. So it's really something I don't know at this point if they've really figured out what triggers it, if it's genetics or if it's just unfortunate circumstances.
Wow, it's awful.
Would you ever want like because you got kids, would you ever want your kids getting this field, this forensic field?
Yeah, I would probably. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think it was great. I got to help a lot of people out, and sometimes it's indirect ways, and sometimes it's direct ways. I've got to testify in murder trials. I got to collect evidence, put people away, caught people that did IEDs, caught people trying to cross the border. All their fingerprints and stuff. So it's great in that terms. I'd probably caution them about some things. One, pay is not great. You got to go up, get to the government as fast as you can. You want to make some money. Local departments don't make a lot. Crime labs don't make a lot. You got to work your way up. I did, yeah. Because what grade are we in?
Well, I'm a junior.
So you should,
Yeah, I'm a junior.
you know where you're going? You have any ideas?
Well, I wanted to know. I think I said something this morning about like a advanced broadcast route. Because what I want to be is a stand-up comedian, right? But we have to start somewhere soft. So, trying to do like sports commentary, like starting my own little podcast. Seeing if like a school somewhere would let me do something like this now.
Gotcha. Have you done any stand-up? Have you gone to a comedy club and asked, or have you stood up in the cafeteria and be like, hey, I'm gonna give you guys my little line here? Hey, that may be a good way to start. Record that, post it, then get yourself going. Do you have jokes on you already?
I'm more of a storyteller guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm definitely more of a storyteller, like Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy type of guy.
Shots are funny.
So it's like
I heard.
So it's like if you catch me in like a good setting with like.
So it's a mood thing, like a sound thing. So it's gonna be hard to generate that just walking up on stage. I got you.
Like if you like a water and like a sandwich, I gotta have some sort of grub.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, so come into my room. I'll have a water and a sandwich.
Yeah, for sure.
So what made you kind of decide to like shift to teaching from forensics?
So like I said, I went to Afghanistan and I was in contract work. I did it for 8 years, and the volume of work we do was very high. Right, it was fast paced, a lot going on. And then being gone so much, my wife was like, you need to come back home.
Yeah.
And I did it originally just so she could stay at home and be with the kids. Right? She always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. This was my opportunity to give her that. So I did contract work so she could do that.
Does overseas work like pay more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made good money in the States, but when you go overseas, you're almost done. Allowed her to do what she always wanted to do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, sacrificable, so she can get what she wants, which was a great opportunity. But after me being gone during that duration, she was finally like, you need to come home. This is getting tough. There's 3 of them. They outnumber me. They're actually mobile, So came back, and like I said, we moved back here. We were living in Mobile, Alabama. We moved back here, and I worked at the Fort Worth Crime Lab, and it was just so much slower, and the expectations were so much less. So I decided I've got to do something.
Were you just getting bored?
Yeah, it was just So, and there's a lot more red tape working in the States for our court system. Things that are required, like steps we have to take, and checks and balances and all that kind of good stuff. It's probably to the extreme because the defense attorneys, you don't deal with those same problems when you're dealing with military per se. So
if someone was to offer you like a job that has high expectations and a fast pace locally around Kelly, would you leave school and take that one?
I've actually been offered to go back overseas a couple times. Actually, one time in the last month to go back over, but I asked my wife. She said no. No, I enjoy coaching softball, man. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Those kids are a blast. You guys coming out, being the Legion Creatures have been amazing. So, I wouldn't trade it. I love doing that. So I think I found my new passion this time. So I'm gonna stick with it. And maybe move to college instead of high school. Get rid of that teaching job part.
Strictly coach. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But maybe later down the road.
Well, do you have any more questions?
Do you have any?
No.
I think I have one more. So working in forensics, obviously you see a lot of stuff, How do you just after all of that come home and it's just eat dinner?
When I started about autopsies the first time, you kind of become callous a little bit towards it. I don't tell all the stories. Like my wife and I obviously will talk. I'll tell stories and things like that. But I just never made it personal, I guess you'd say. It's part of the job. It's what I got to do. And me doing my job helps them find resolutions, right? Helps them solve their problem and get through things. And so I just never took it that way. I don't know. I think after the 4,000 bodies and stuff, and you actually have your hands in a dead body, you just kind of go, seeing a dead person, not a big deal. And my mom was a nurse, and so she worked with stuff, and so we talked at the dinner table when I was younger. My dad hated it, by the way, because he hates blood.
I did too.
So he would get a little irritated. We're eating, spaghetti or whatever. We're talking about, running bowels and people being sick or whatever. But so I kind of just grew up with it, I guess, in that small sense. And then, but I never took it as a personal thing. I never put myself out there in that way. Even when we did the Sid's deaths, I didn't think about my kids being the ones that died. I just needed to solve this so these people can move on with their grieving process. So.
So if you have a good mindset, you can work yourself around the personal.
Yeah, I think it's just separating yourself out.
Yeah.
When my job versus my life are, so when I come home, I never wanted to be known as a forensic scientist, so I didn't. Everybody, what'd you do? I do crime scenes. Oh, it's so cool, and I'd be like, yeah, that's great. But I think that's part of it. When I got home, I was dad, played my kids. Played softball.
Didn't really bring work into
I didn't really come around and talk about it. So you just did your own thing once you got home. So I think that kind of helped.
All right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up. And see you. Thank you, Coach Cripps. Goodbye. It's your podcast.
Good interview.
It was a
Very good. Very good.
Probably, a man with 1,000 words and stories and 1,000 stories. Oh my God.
He could have talked for like 30 more minutes.
And I would have let him too.
Yeah.
Jesus. But today we're gonna get to the some stuff that's going around in the world. And Gilmart's gonna take it away. Go ahead.
All right, coming up first, we got multiple people stealing sand. In India, illegal sand mining
In Morocco.
in Morocco is the country's
is where else is
largest organized criminal activity. Who'd have thought? What's so
Wow.
special about the sand? So they're like scheming how to get this sand because obviously it's illegal, and there's people like guarding it, right?
With like their lives.
Yeah.
Like they're strapped.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Over some sand. Over some grains.
The Moroccan officials described this as a devastating blow to the community
What?
because
What?
they don't have any sand. They don't have any sand anymore. They don't have a beach. It's just rock and water.
No. They took their sand.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
they
all
took
of
this,
it. It's gone.
Every single grain was gone.
Yo, imagine waking up one day
It's just
and your
rock and
grass is
water.
gone. Like someone just
It's
takes
just
the
rock.
dirt out your yard.
Someone just takes your grass, your sod,
and you got like
pulls
concrete.
it up.
Imagine how much sand that had to be a lot of sand, dude.
Yeah.
It's like there's just like
I
a
think
divot.
I
of
think
just
there's
nothing but
multiple
just
people
rocks.
doing this. I don't think it's just one.
You need just multiple people.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Does it
If
say
it's-
how much they were taking?
it does not.
They took
actually.
the entire
Like how are they taking it?
entire
Like
beach.
bags?
So
Truckloads.
From what I can
Sean,
see,
truckloads. Truckloads.
they just get shovels and they just start throwing it in the truck. You know.
That is so like odd.
I wonder like how many pounds that is though.
What's in the sand though? What color is the sand?
White,
What
I
color
think.
is the sand?
White sand? That's actually pretty.
Yeah.
That's like your basic sand. Like on the beach, yeah, your basic sand's gonna be white. So what's so special about the sand?
Well, I think it's like kind of more yellow, more tannish.
Nah, sand's white. Sand is white.
Sand's white.
That's the funky sand though. The,
The
white sand is the
funky
funky
sand?
sand.
Funky sand. What?
It's like in the
what
Bahamas.
beach do you be going to?
I don't know.
Padre?
I haven't seen a white beach. I've only seen
Yeah,
tan
yeah,
beaches.
we have. Yeah,
No, we
have,
haven't.
Tim. Yeah,
Probably have.
yeah. In Galveston,
All right.
those are white beaches.
Get on to the next one.
Yeah, all right.
You go, Sean.
Let's see this one. The next one, I don't even need it. The next one is some dude. Oh my God. All right, so I'm gonna give you a picture. Right, you old lady, you in a wheelchair, you about like 80, 90 years old. You rolling on the way through the airport, getting ready to go see your grandbaby. You know, you got the gifts in the back of the wheelchair. Some dude in reindeer slippers, right, runs up on you.
Give me a wheelchair.
In reindeer slippers.
The police said, despite his reindeer slippers, he was not spreading holiday cheer.
And I'm like, bro, who's gonna stand up for this grandma? Because obviously she can't do it. She can't do it. Okay,
You just leave this old lady
just let the old lady sit
lay
there.
on an airport
Took
floor.
her wheelchair. Come on,
Why do you need a wheelchair?
Come on, Earth.
Why are you gonna take it from her?
let's have some decency. You could have at least like propped her up or something. Like, cause I get wheelchairs expensive. That mug's like $700, $500. They ain't cheap. That's a whole Christmas gift itself.
I've fallen and I can't get out.
Life Alert was so stupid. Oh my God! Like it's like,
Dude, if she had
somebody
one,
was like-
if she had one of those, she wouldn't be in that predicament though. She had a life alert.
but you tell me
What
that she was
happened?
like in public. Everybody just looked at her like
Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna pass. I ain't gonna help her.
That's sad.
some dude was on a call.
Did he take?
And
Did he
like
take the
walk-
Christmas presents too?
Yeah, I'd do something. Actually, no.
There's a video of it. There's a video of it
just took
online.
the wheel-
There's a video of it online.
He just took the wheelchair.
Yep, just
that
took
is
the wheelchair.
despicable.
The police tracked him down though. They
there
found
has
him.
to be some dude who watched that happen, right? Who was on the phone, right? He was sitting there talking to like, he's like, baby mom. I just saw. Like, bro.
How devious do you have to be to
And-
take
and it wouldn't
somebody's
even help
wheelchair?
How do you have to be to take somebody's wheelchair?
Like, come on. Let's have a little bit of decency here.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm
That's bad.
gonna keep it 100%. If my brother was in a wheelchair for some odd reason, I'm taking it just cause. But that's my brother though, cause we mess
Terrible
around
person,
like
Sean.
that.
What do you mean? That's not a terrible.
I would do
thing.
that to you, Tim.
That's
I would do that to you.
If you were in a wheelchair, actually, yeah, Tim. If you
I'd
were in a
snatch it.
wheelchair, I would snatch your wheelchair too.
Oh, terrible people.
That was terrible.
I'd
We just
snatch
being
it.
realistic.
Terrible.
Nah,
I would snatch it.
that's
All right,
reasonable. excuse.
Samuel, I think you got something.
And then our last story is a very, very deep story. All right.
Got
This
you.
is gonna touch you to your soul.
Really?
All right. In Virginia, there's a criminal cat shaver. He takes people's cats and shaves them while they're out in their yard.
Of course.
Imagine letting your cat out for 2 or 3 hours. Homie comes back and he got no hair.
They just gave him middle part,
He
bro.
lined him up.
They
He
just
lined
gave him
up cats in the
they just
neighborhood.
gave him the nastiest widow's peak of all time.
The police said, "We don't know who's doing this, but please stop."
Please stop shaving people's cats. They probably got his, bro.
Probably.
Like,
You think this is like a
my
retaliation?
God. A retaliation for what?
You think
for
so?
what?
Right?
Dude,
Oh, like, what do the grandmas be doing that you need to shave
I
their
don't know.
cat?
Like
sitting there knitting.
maybe
and then-
maybe a cat bit him or something when he was a kid, and he just decided from then on he's
Well,
gonna
a dog
shave
bit
every
me when
cat
I was
he
a kid,
sees.
but I didn't go around shaving people's dogs. Like,
Well, that's different. Nobody dislikes a dog. Nobody dislikes dogs.
people dislike dogs.
Everybody
Who
hates
dislikes
cats.
dogs?
I mean, a lot.
Is
of
there
people dislike
anybody in this
dogs.
room that dislikes dogs?
Not in this room.
No,
Most Americans think that like dogs are man's best friend.
because they
My
are.
dog cool. You know, but
You got a
I
dog,
know
Sean?
I know a few people who are cat people.
You got a cat, Sean?
No, I got a dog.
Nobody
dog.
like
My dog
truthfully
name is
hates
Ray.
dogs though. I mean, it's different with
You
cats.
gotta,
though.
you gotta
Like,
have something really messed up to be like, I need that. I need that. I'm gonna shave him too.
You think he was giving him fades or something? You think he was like,
Oh yeah.
You
Line
think
him up.
you think your friend like one day was just like, "Hey, bro, how much money you gonna give me if I shave this cat right here?" It'd be like $20. A human would do anything for $20. $20 is $20. All right. Hey, bro, how much you gonna do this? $20. I bet. First of all, why you even got clippers with you?
was he just like completely shaving them like bald,
Yeah.
or was he like?
Well, was it just the top of their head?
It was both.
It was
doing
their,
both.
It was their whole body?
He was shaving
Yeah,
everything.
he was doing both. He was
First of
doing
all,
both.
how is a cat even sitting still for all this?
I don't think they were. He must have like kicked the kitten or something.
No,
Like,
you have to like chase them down. They quick. And then they agile too.
You gotta like set a trap for him, like get him in a little alley with a little cage at the end.
That's
you gotta
wild.
Have him run into it.
That's wild. You
Like
got-
that's the only way you can catch a cat.
Throw some salmon in there.
Oh, yeah.
Call
he
it
had
a
like
day.
a cat barbershop or
Catnip
something.
in the end.
No, there's
in
a
little
cat
cage.
barbershop. They just don't shave off their heads and take their money. Nah, dude,
But like,
that's-
what's going through your head when you think you're gonna do that though? Like, that's the only explanation I can think of though. That like he got bit when he was a kid and he just decided, I'm never
no,
having
his
this
friend
again.
definitely dared
I'm
him.
messing up every single cat I see.
He definitely getting paid for this. He's definitely getting
for
paid for
sure.
this.
No way you're just shaving cats' heads just for
just for the fun of it.
just for the fun of it. Like
That's
bro, it's
crazy.
like fantasy football punishment. Right there. That's it right there. Fantasy football punishment. Right there.
Has he stopped?
They have not caught him.
So no, he hasn't.
He's a criminal at large.
So if you live in Virginia,
You best watch out.
you see some cats
you
getting
can't get
shaved.
shaved up.
There's a
It's
criminal
over.
on the loose. All right, we gotta find this man.
Cat getting lined up.
Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your cats, hide your husbands. There's a cat shaver on the loose. Someone come get him, bro. That's wild. Well, that's what's going on in the world. You know, that's it for the hang zone. You know, this time instead of throwing alligators and whispering to monkeys, this time we taking tan, we stealing your wheelchairs,
Yo,
and we
that's the
shaving your
biggest
cats.
conspiracy.
And so we're just gonna cut it off from there. All right, bye.
Well, hey,
And
to wrap that episode up, that was a pretty good interview.
that was good.
Yeah,
Interview
the
by
Hang Zone was
Cribs.
great.
Hang Zone was amazing. Probably one of our best.
I
one of
love
our
those
best.
twins.
And dude, that's gonna be about it, man. You know, we really have nothing else coming on.
Oh, hey Carter,
Hey guys,
take a seat, buddy.
what's going on? How we doing?
You just walking around, just figured you'd come in and check things out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just, you know.
Hey, we filming
that's
right now,
what's
big
going
buddy.
on. Oh, you're filming?
Yeah.
Hey, so Carter, since you're sitting down on the couch, you are a member of DECA, aren't you?
I am.
Why
I
don't
am
you
a
tell
member
us a
of
little
DECA.
bit about what it's like to put on a suit and do DECA for Keller High School?
What's DECA in the first place?
In fact, yeah, explain it because we've got time.
All right, so DECA it's like a business club, and basically you go and present your business stuff, and yeah, that's basically it's all about like business and like young entrepreneurs. So that's just what we do. So we got some DECA stuff coming up.
Aren't you going to AT&T?
We are going to AT&T next
Isn't our
Wednesday.
DECA team, like,
That's pretty
really
cool.
good or something like that. We're like, we've been like DECA
Yeah,
champions for a
yeah.
while.
The DECA team is probably like the best in like the district.
Really?
Like the chapter.
And who
Yeah.
and is this just the regular football district, or are there other schools that are in
No,
this
it's
district?
like we're in District 7, so it's like all of where we are in the regional area.
So are
There's
you
like
saying
7 districts of Texas.
is like Richland and Birdville and
yeah, it's
really?
everyone.
Okay.
It's like it's all of like
Byron,
our
DFW.
like local area of
Yes.
Texas. It's like all
Like
of
South
that.
Lake and stuff like that.
Yeah,
who's
all of that.
Who's y'all's toughest opponent?
Probably South Lake.
Wow.
And
Not only can they play sports, but they can argue.
Grapevine
Grapevine's
is really
good?
good. Grapevine is really good. Yeah.
Crazy.
So Carter, I think what are certain scenarios that you've gone through in a DECA competition? Like give me, because I know y'all went up, y'all had one, maybe it was like a mock deal,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
maybe
it
it
was a
wasn't
mock
like an
one.
official deal, it was like a practice run.
Yeah.
What was a scenario where you sat down and what did they hand you, like a little binder or folder?
So
or how does it work?
basically,
And explain what was your scenario.
you walk into a room and it's you and your partner, because it was a partner thing, and there's 8 other groups in there, and so they give you a scenario that you study for 5 minutes, whether it's ethics or marketing or whatever, and then you have to go and present that indicators, which is like the objectives. That's how they grade you, and basically you have to include those in your the role play to get the most points. So that was like the mock one. But for actual DECA, you have to take a 100-question test before the actual thing, and that also factors into your score.
That sounds miserable. That's just me. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's
for
really
Carter
not.
though.
It's really not.
He is ready to freaking roll for DECA. I'm not a 100 test question test
you
guy.
like
I'm not
the-
just gonna tell you right now.
Okay, so what would be like your starters? You know, like you know, like every team has like their first players going out
Hey
on
Sean,
the field.
can you put the mic towards your face?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
You know how like
We're gonna be
how-
able to pick out that sound. This is very important stuff.
you know how every player, like every team has their starters going out on their field for like basketball. It's like your first 5
Yeah.
dudes. Or like
Who's
for
the
football,
ace?
your
Who's
first
the ace
11.
of this decade?
Yeah,
Is what
the
Sean's
ace?
trying to say.
Well-
Who is the you're
DECA?
you got your back against the wall and you got a really big you're a regional.
Who are you pulling
Who
out?
are you? What card are you pulling out of your sleeve?
Yo, check out this guy
make
right
sure,
here.
to get the guarantee that we're gonna advance.
So DECA has like 100 something members.
but in that
And I
room,
would
right
say-
across the freaking hall
Are
wall,
you just saying that room? or
That
are you saying
room.
into, let's see.
because this is second period. Everyone knows. If you're watching this podcast, you know. So
James
he's gonna eliminate.
Lorette and Austin Wycombe.
Really?
They talk really well.
Do
They
they?
won the mock event.
Yeah, those
the one that
are
they were
two
in.
pretty
They
sharp
talk
fellas.
very well. Yeah.
Wow.
So what you're
Stressful.
saying is the rest of the people in that room are not aces.
Well, we didn't really prepare for the mock one. So the other schools showed up with like their big guns, and we kind of just rolled in there.
Kind of
and-
limped on in there.
Yeah.
that's
so-
not
But
very
but
good.
they won it and took it home though, right?
yeah, they did take it home.
Wow.
We won 4 of the
And,
I
yeah.
want to say like 20 events, and there was like 8 schools there.
Like
so
he said.
it was pretty good.
He thinks that this is the best DECA team in the district, and he just told us that they walked into some mock trial and just freaking destroyed 5
We don't even
grade.
gotta study for real.
So you know what? Prove us right, Carter.
I will.
Go win
yeah.
the state championship and whatever you got to do, and
Hey,
do it in a good looking
for sure.
suit.
We're going
and
to
win.
nationals,
Yeah,
man.
and
We're
so
going to
yeah.
nationals.
So okay, so where do I go to nationals at?
So nationals is in Anaheim this year.
What is that?
it's
California,
in
bro.
South of
California.
I
Inglewood.
was gonna say that is.
Yeah. So they
Why you
rotate.
going- Never mind, bro. Go ahead.
So,
Disneyland,
So
right?
like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Anaheim.
one year's Anaheim, the next year's Florida, and then I think they went to Atlanta maybe a couple years ago.
ATL.
Yeah, that one.
Is it free? Like you get to go for free? They fly you out?
DECA free.
Yeah, like
Well,
like your trips. Like say
We're
you go to
having a
Anaheim.
fundraiser right now, so if you just raise like the amount of money, you just
How
have
much
to-
money?
You're selling popcorn, aren't you, Carter?
Yeah, you got to raise $500.
You got good.
Just
caramel
500?
popcorn?
What?
Yeah, I said you have good caramel popcorn.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Love some of that.
it's a little pricey, but it's
That's what I've heard.
yeah. is good.
Yeah.
So if you raise 500, you get all your fees paid for all the way up to nationals. So it's good.
If you yourself raise 500?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of DECA members post their links to fundraisers
Okay,
and stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's
there's
like
a
so
lot.
it's like they'll fly you out to Cali, and then like, do y'all strictly only do like the DECA tournaments, or do y'all like get to go over there and like have fun at like Disney and stuff?
No,
like
so
that?
we're there for like 4 days, and we'll only be competing for like 1 or 2.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's
So
like
that's
there's a
great.
lot of free time.
So
yeah,
that's those
there's a lot
3
of free
days. So
time.
y'all just chill around, and just hang out.
Yeah, we're just chilling and going, doing whatever.
Okay.
So
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cold. It's kind of cold.
Well, Carter, we I think everybody here appreciates you just randomly
Yeah.
walking into our room
Hey,
and
thank you for having
just
me on.
walking on the couch.
Oh, yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
you.
for sure.
So get out of here.
Yeah, now you can
Alright,
go.
okay,
Carter.
Okay, yeah,
I'll,
I got it. But in case, very away from the off screen. Okay, now in case you don't see us or here on the Fierce Fruit Podcast, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.